Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Crystal. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make salmon patties. Now hang on, wait. If you're not a fish person, just hang in there. If you don't like fish, if you don't know how to cook it, if the only way you take it is deep fried, stick around because this recipe is still for you. I'm not one of those people that is very fond of fish unless it's fried, and this is a recipe that I really like. So stick with me, try it, see if you like it, then let me know. So for this recipe, you are going to need salmon. We use canned salmon. Depending on how many you make, it will depend on how many cans you use. You'll need breadcrumbs, onions, coconut oil, and then some spices, Italian spice needs, salt and pepper, garlic powder, and then you will also need some eggs, which we will get from the fridge. So the first thing that we're gonna do, which is the worst part of this whole recipe, is we're going to drain the meat from the cans and then we're gonna sort out the bones, which is not fun, but we'll take the bones and the skin out, but you can just get it done real quick and be done with it and move on. Some people say that you can eat the bones. I don't particularly like to do that, so I take the bones out. After you get the meat all separated, you're going to put some breadcrumbs and you'll put 2 eggs in and some seasonings. Now I wish I could tell you just exactly how much, but I honestly never measure, so I'll just show you, and it's more about a texture type thing when you can make like a patty, kind of like if you were making hamburger or meatloaf, the same kind of feel and consistency. So I'll show you. If I had my fresh rosemary from the garden, it's not growing in season right now, but I would put some of that in here. It tastes really good in with these salmon patties. Then what you'll do is you'll chop up an onion and put that in the meat. So I only ended up putting half an onion in there. What you're gonna do next is you're just gonna stir it all up. If you want, you can use your hands in this process, or you can use a fork or a spoon. It's totally up to you. Next, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna take the meat and form it into patties, kind of like you would to make hamburgers. So these do feel a little wet, so I would have added a little more breadcrumbs if I had it. I don't happen to have any more right now. So if it's feeling a little juicy, you just add a little bit more, but you wanna make sure it still sticks together. You want it to be able to stick really nice. So there, about that size. You wanna make sure that it's not thicker in the middle. You want it to all be the same size all the way around so it cooks evenly. All right, so with 3 cans, I was able to make 6 patties, so that's kind of your proportion. Usually I tend to make around 4 cans because I feed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us usually, sometimes 6. However, my husband's not a huge fan of salmon patties. Don't let that deter you. A lot of people love my salmon patties, but he's not a huge fan, so I try to spare him from too many leftovers. So the next thing you're gonna do is you're going to fry up the salmon patties in a frying pan. Now what I like to do is I like to use coconut oil to fry the patties in. I think it adds a good flavor to the salmon, but you can use anything. You could use a vegetable oil or any oil that you have, or you could even use butter. I have never done that. I'm not sure how it would turn out, but I'm sure it'd be okay. But this is my favorite that I've found, is putting it in the coconut oil. Another thing you can do also is you can take the patties after you make them and coat them in cornmeal. It can give them a little bit of a crunchier crust. That is optional. You don't have to do that, but you can do that. I'm not gonna do this time around, but I have done it before and it is pretty good. Once the coconut oil has melted and the pan is nice and hot, you can put the salmon patties in and let it get crisp on both sides. So there you have it. That's how you make the salmon patties, be sure to go check out my other cooking videos here in the playlist. I will link here at the end, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, that onion is very potent. It is making my eyes water. Hold my breath. My eyes are still watering.